Gran Turismo 7. Is it worth a buy, guys? Is it? Let's read the words on some random PlayStation 5 game sailing site thing. Yes. With the reintroduction of the legendary GT simulation mode, buy, tune, race and sell your way through a rewarding solo campaign as you unlock new cars and challenges. And if you love going head to head with others, hone your skills and compete in the GT sports mode, providing you of course have the PlayStation Network at a stupid price on top of paying 70 quid for the fucking game. With over 420 cars available at Brand Central and the used car dealership from day one, Gran Turismo 7 allows you to grind and grind and grind and grind and grind unless you get your fucking wallet out. Get your wallet out here and get those fucking microtransactions. Buy that in-game currency and give us all your fucking money. This is my first PlayStation 5 review. First PlayStation 5 game I've really played. First time I've really played a Gran Turismo game as well, so lots of firsts here. And I'm very impressed with how it ran. The PlayStation 5 is an absolute beast. I mean, because this was in 4K that I was playing it in, with ray tracing and everything on. I was a bit disappointed with how it looked. The cars kind of looked like shiny little plastic toys rather than real cars. I was quite disappointed at how graphically it looked, but it was nice. The scenery was nice. The tracks are nice. So yeah, no real big problems with that at all. The racing's fantastic. The new controller for the PlayStation 5 is just phenomenal. It's the best controller I've ever used. It is so responsive, so comfortable. The force feedback, if you like, the buzzers are just great. Even the triggers stiffen up when you're playing. It gives you a bit of a sense of braking and stuff. It played havoc with my arm, but it was still fun, and I like where they've gone with the controllers. The AI is good in this as well. I had some fantastic races in the smaller, slower cars. Had some really good times around Brands Hatch and stuff. Fantastic AI. It really, well, not fantastic, but it was very good AI. I've seen some awful AI in driving games, racing games over the years. But in this, the AI was really good. Obviously, turn off as many of the aids as you can, because you don't want all that shit on. What I was very disappointed with was that I couldn't take off the drivers' names at the top left without taking off the track. Now, I don't know a lot of the circuits, so I need the circuit so I can glance up at whether there's a left-hander or a right-hander coming and how tight it is. Obviously, you need to know that until you've learnt the circuits. And there's not an option to leave the track on at the top right and take off the drivers, and the drivers were blocking my rear view mirror. I mean, you can press a controller button to quickly see behind you, but I don't want to have to do that. I want to just glance at that mirror, and I couldn't. That's an oversight, and that needs fixing because that's bad. The cars handle well. I love the fact that you get a bog standard car when you buy it or win it, and then you can take that into the tuning and tune it up. You can put better tyres, you can put different gearboxes in it, lots of different suspension, and you can customize them later on in the game as you get better and better. I mean, putting on new tyres, new brakes, new suspension, and then maybe a bit of an exhaust is pretty much a must on a lot of cars when you get them, just to give them that little bit more handling in the corners. And once you do that, you'll then start winning the races. I didn't really have much trouble on the medium settings. In fact, I had no trouble on the medium settings. I pretty much won everything. So you need to put it on hard if you can drive a car. So it passed the test, and that's the big test for driving games. It's whether or not the AI is good enough, how the cars handle, and is there a difference when you start tuning them. And the answer to all of them is it's brilliant. It's really, really good. Unfortunately, that's where things start to end in the good, and that's when all the bad stuff comes in, and there's some absolutely horrendous stuff that I've actually never seen people talking about. I can't understand it. I think this is me coming from a PC racing background to console racing background. I mean, this isn't Forza. This is a racing game. I mean, some even say it's a simulator, which it isn't. But it's an arcade racer. That's what it is. But it's absolutely, utterly flawed, this game, because you cannot set up a custom race. Let's say I wanted to go to Monza with an Aston Martin and race against some Beamers and Mercs. You can't do that. You literally cannot do that. Unless you've unlocked the Aston Martin that you want to drive, or bought it, and unless you've unlocked Monza, you literally can't do it. All you can do in custom races is select the car that you own on a circuit that you've unlocked. And unlocking the cars and the circuits takes a long... I've been playing the game all day, and I'm only up to the Camaro, and I've only unlocked a handful of circuits. And it's 3 races each unlock, and you've got to be first, second, or third. And I was coming first pretty much every time. A couple of times I came second, but the vast majority... So it wasn't like I was having to repeat the races. And I was flying through it as fast as I could. And it took me hours and hours and hours, and I'm nowhere near getting any kind of a sniff of a high-performance vehicle yet. I mean, I've got a Z1 Camaro, which obviously is a high-performance, but I'm talking about the Ferraris, the 458s and stuff. I'm nowhere near them yet. I haven't even seen a sniff of a Poker yet either. It's sad that I can't... I mean, I've had so much fun in the lower echelons of racing, you know, Mini Coopers and stuff like that. I've had a blast. It's been great fun. But now I want to move and just say, right, I've had enough of all that. Go into the cafe. You go to a cafe, guys, and this guy in the cafe gives you a menu, and he says, right, you have to unlock them 3 cars, come back and I'll give you a roulette prize. What is that shite all about? The game's bloated with shite. You've got this is the world map where you can go to all these places. And you know what? They're all shit. They're all bloated pieces of shit, except for the car dealers, which is 2 of them, the track selection and the race. That's it. Everything else is bullshit. That's just there, bloated. But what I was going to say about the cars is you get currency for winning a race and stuff like that, and you can buy cars with the in-game currency. But you can also buy the cars with real money as well. But you can't literally buy the car with real money. You buy in-game currency with real money. And the problem is that you end up having to buy more than... I've had a look at the price structure. It's horrible because, not that I would even consider buying it, but you end up having to buy more money than you need. It's horrible, the microtransactions, and there shouldn't even be any. The game's fucking £70, and if you want to play online, you've got to have PlayStation Network, which is, I don't know how much more it is a month that you've got to pay for that. Honestly, guys, the console gamers are getting absolutely ripped. Completely ripped off. I'm shocked at how bad it is now. I mean, I've got to compare this game to Grid. Grid blows this away pretty much across the park. In Grid, you can just set up all kinds of races that you want with all kinds of opposition and just have fun. There's 420 cars in this game, and it's a £70 game for the base game. £70, that's without your PlayStation Network. And you can't even just go in and say, oh, my favourite car's a Aston Martin Vantage, I want to race that against that M5 or whatever. No, you can't do that. And you should be able to do that, because pretty much every single racing game that I've got on the PC, you can actually do that. Project Cars, yeah, you can do that. Grid, yeah, you can do that. You can do it in all of them. But in the PlayStation one, you are locked down. You're locked down like a fucking chastity belt. And it's like, no, you will not race Monza. No, unless you've unlocked it, and you have to get back to the fucking grind and race that fucking Mini around that fucking circuit and win. Look, it's a driving game, a £70 one that I've already mentioned that. It'll be about cars, lots of them, tracks, lots of them, good AI, good handling, loads of customization modes. That's what makes a good driving game. Allowing the customer, that's us, who pay the fucking money to use whatever car we want on any circuit we want against any other car we like. That's called fun. And you know what? If you don't want to do that, that's fine. Give a career mode where you have to progressively unlock everything. Have both, but don't just put every single fucking track and car behind a fucking grinding paywall. It's bullshit. Because I know that when I go to play this game next, I'm going to have to drive cars I don't want, I don't like, around circuits that I don't want and I don't like. And I shouldn't be forced to do that in a driving game. So there you go, guys. It's a great game. It's a fun game. It's got good AI. It's got good driving. It feels good on the controller. It ticks all of them boxes. Unfortunately, the rest of the game is just a grindy piece of shit.